everyone. So today I get to finally show you in detail our new eyebrow pencils and gels. I am so delighted that these guys are finally here, and don't worry if, like me, you are a big fan of our original. They aren't going anywhere, but these guys were developed from your feedback. So a lot of people found that the skinny pencil, when they aren't confident with brow pencils and things, that they were a little bit fiddly, that it was too thin for them. I personally love the thin nib, but I totally am always about making the job as easy as possible for you, and also that you would love to have something that you could use on a day when you don't use pencil. So that is exactly what we've done, and we've developed our new, that's the wrong one, oh, have I got that one out? It's dark brown. These are our new pencils. So on one side you'll see that we have a lovely pencil which is thicker than our original, and then on the other end, which is my favorite part, is this deadly little wand to brush your brows. So the tones in these are so cool, undertoned, because you know how I feel about warm tones in the brows. It just looks totally unnatural. But the gel side can be used on a day where, say, you don't want to put on too much makeup, but you just want to give yourself a little bit of definition, a little bit of coverage in the brows. Or else it can be used, as I would use it, to set your pencil. So always to make it look really nice and fluffy and natural. So my key is always about making the brows look like your own brows, but with a nice bit of definition that can lift the face. And the worst thing I think is when you can see somebody go out and in daylight it looks like they're red or orange, or if they're too ashy. So the color is, as always with me, the color is really, really important. So if you're unsure of what color to go with, please do ask us and we can help. But to give an overview, the brown is what I would always use because I'm blonde. So if you're blonde, a light grey, light red or light brown hair, then I would go with brown. If you are a real dark blonde or dark brown, steely grey, or a real deep red or black hair, then I would go with our dark brown. The dark brown on someone with my colouring is too ashy, and that's when you sometimes veer into that phase of looking like there's two brows stuck to the face rather than your own brows naturally being there. So I'm going to use the brown on myself today, and I'm going to show you quickly before I start how you measure your brows if you're unsure. So the easiest way and the quickest way for you to do it is to go from the side of the nose to the inside of the eye here, and this is roughly where your brow should start. From the side of the nose to the end of the eye is where your brow should finish, and from the side of the nose up through the pupil is where your arch should be. Now we all pretty much have that there naturally, but a lot of us will have little baby hairs and little fine hairs that we sometimes don't fill in because we think, well, I shouldn't fill in that part, but really you could be doing yourself out of a gorgeous brow by not. And the effect brows have, like, the reason I did my makeup first is because I want to show you how, like, the brows look here and then the difference by just putting a bit of definition. It lifts the whole face, and for me, even when I have no makeup on, I will always have my brows filled in because I just feel like they make me look brighter and younger. So the key as well is being really light-handed when you're doing your brows, because the less pressure you have on the pencil, the more feathery it's going to come out. So I always start in the middle of my brow when I'm doing it, because then I always feel if I do over apply, I can blend it down the front or down the back. If you start here with too much, then you can end up looking like you have a block brow or a stencily type brow. So I'm going to take it from the middle part and I'm going to do these tiny little strokes into the brow. Okay. I'm just looking down into my mirror here because I know it'll be too hard for me to do it in the camera, but I would always suggest as well, you see the way I'm away from my mirror, so my mirror is down here, try and keep yourself a little bit away from your actual mirror that you're doing it in, because if you're up really, really close, you won't see how they both look together, and then you can end up with one much bigger than the other. So it's always better to look away. So nice light-handed little strokes to give myself that bit of definition, and then when I come to the front, I'm kind of just fluffing it up, so nice and gently, because the brows here are generally a little bit lighter. I'd say the look of concentration in my face now is something else. Okay, just bring it up. See already the difference. Like, look at the difference. It's just ridiculous. I'm telling you, brows, when I was always doing my lessons, it was the one thing that people would always be saying to me, oh, you know, I don't get it. I don't see why brows are so important. And then I would do one of their brows and not do the other and say, look at yourself now. And they're like, oh my God. So it's definitely one of those things that I think once you start doing it, you'll never not. So once I have my pencil on, then I'm going to take my brow gel on the other side, and I'm going to then just bring it up through the brow, just to brush through the pencil. And like that, it can be used on its own as well, but it gives these real feathery strokes, almost like that soap brow, but without looking false. And then gives my brow that lovely fluffy effect. But look at the difference. Like, this side of my face just got a facelift compared to here. And I think I just look so much brighter on this side than this side. And it's all just to do with the brows. Like, the brows are so, so important. So I'll go and even myself up on this side, and then I'll show you what they're both like together, and I'll show you the tones as well. Okay, so I just evened up the other side, and I popped a little bit of pencil on the back of my hand just to show you the two shades. So this is our brown and this is our dark brown, and both are buildable. So if you want to make the color darker, you absolutely can. If you want to make it a bit lighter, just go a little lighter handed. But I would always say build slowly with the brows rather than going too much too quick, because then they can go wrong very quickly on you. But I think that this is going to be a big game changer for anyone who still is a little bit unsure of how to do their brows, or just doesn't want anything too much. Like, the gel is just so brilliant during the day when you don't want to put much on. Like, I was away on holidays last week, so pretty much every day I just threw on the gel because I wasn't wearing makeup most days. I was just heading out. I was a little bit of concealer under the eyes and my brow gel. But when I want a bit more definition like I have today, I'll do the pencil and the gel together. So they just work great, and it means then you're not having to, you know, have loads of different pencils and loads of different products. I'm always a case of I want everything to fit into one little bag, so that if I have to top up when I'm out or if I'm going away, I don't have a million things to bring with me. But I do hope that it's going to make your brow game easier and that you will love them, and I will chat to you soon.